Hello, welcome back to another segment with me, E.B. Smith, in Journey of Life. Today we're going to talk about unresolved. I can't say the word because I want to get marked here, but you know what I'm talking about. Stuff that we have not settled, emotions we have not dealt with. Um, for example, at by the time you reach our age and 50 above, you've had significant things change. Maybe a different relationship what you had for the last 10 or 15 years, or kids grown up and moved out, and the difference in dynamics on how to deal with them. You've had maybe a different town you lived in, a different job change. Either way, um, it's messed up to get your dream job and not perform well because you either fear you're gonna get fired like the last job, or fear you're gonna have a bad boss and not do well. Yeah, and so the same can happen in a new relationship with your wife, um, or the same could happen when you have a grandchild and you start thinking of that grandchild in terms of how the other child acted, the child parent acted. We have to get rid of that because it keeps us from enjoying things. There's a breakdown in one of my relationships, significant relationship, not with my marriage, but um, in my biological family. The breakdown is stemming from people not dealing with their issues. um, when you have unresolved issues, the relationship doesn't work. And when the relationship doesn't work, and I've said it in a podcast a while back, that when you have a relationship and it has no relation, the ship has already sailed. And so that, to me, is an example of what happens when you don't get rid of things that hinder you from having a good relationship with people. If I did something to you today and it offended you, yeah, you don't have to address it right away, but you should address it if the relationship between me and you if you have value on that relationship. If you don't value it, then you just it's an excuse to get away anyway. So just do it. But if you value it, you say, I love them, I love EB, so I'm going to tell him later that what he did was egregious and disrespectful or whatever, and then we try to work it out. Again, like I say, if you don't value the relationship, you cut it off and keep it moving. The same thing with a job. Don't go to your dream job and get mad because the boss don't talk, or boss seem to be talking to you the same way the old boss did. That's garbage. Go somewhere else with that. So for me, we have to look at life on a different level, right? My opinion, 95% of the people on earth, especially in the urban community, black community, Hispanic community, should seek mental health counseling. Period. Period. And when I say seek, I mean seek it. I might not necessarily say you need to go through some long process, meaning it doesn't even last a year, but at least address some things that you need to deal with, because we already are not well equipped to handle just our basic life. When we start dealing with the complexities of our brain, we need help understanding those so at least we can work them out within ourselves. And the only way that I know you can do that is with some assistance by somebody who studies that for a living. I believe, yes, the economic conditions being pressed in on us, or the socioeconomic things that happen as a result of us being quote unquote second class citizens, have created so much turmoil in our life. But in the same respect, I believe that the resolve for that could be counseling and coping mechanisms so that we can move forward. And just as the overall society is guilty of oppressing us, we're guilty of depressing our own selves. And so for me, a, just a smorgasbord of nothing but, like I said earlier, stuff. I think that word is too light for the stuff we have to deal with. I believe the other word is more appropriate. Um, think about all the relationships that fell apart. What? Okay, all right. Maybe you can't look at it that way. What would you have been able to benefit from if the negative thing never happened? If you had met her before you met her, how long would that relationship have lasted in the same place? How long would things have lasted if you'd have met him before you met him? How long would you have liked that job had you not worked to the other place first? That's all I'm saying. So if those things are not affecting you, then you should be able to answer that question easily. I don't have a total remedy on how to solve those unresolved issues, but what I can say without a shadow of a doubt that we should not have them. We shouldn't be using the word, we shouldn't be able to be labeled with anything that's unresolved. There's a way to get in touch with your spirit. There's a way to get in touch with your health. There's a way to get in touch with your emotional stress. There's a way to solve your financial issues. So, unresolved, labeling something unresolved should only be used momentarily. It should not be a permanent fixture in a total life evaluation. Oh, he's got he's got unresolved issues. I don't ever want anybody saying that about me. So, which is why I am going back into counseling myself because I want to make sure that at 80 years old or at 70 years old, that I don't say something, do something, or reflect something, or project something that is a result of me having underlying issues. I think they should be solved. Um, I have the means to take care of it no matter what it costs because I have decent insurance and a supportive family that will support me going forward to do that. Heck, my wife might even encourage it. So, um, so I'm asking you to do the same thing. Don't be the person that continues to depress yourself and limit yourself because I think what's happening is you're already getting older and reflecting and maybe a little irritated that you have not been able to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. But what makes things worse is you have some unresolved issues within you that keep you from even squeaking through what you can squeak through. In order to move forward, and in order to brag about we've arrived, in order to brag about I've lived a good life, that we must take care of ourselves. We must take care of ourselves. And I'm gonna say this under every means necessary. If you need to cut away people to do that, do it. If you need to quit a job to do that, do that. If you need to leave a relationship to do that, do it. Because ultimately, you can't please anybody before you please yourself. I don't want you helping me if you're not able to help yourself. Keep what you're going to give me, keep it for yourself. Because now I'm wondering why you're doing it. I have a hard time believing that people care more about other people than they care about themselves. I think that's something else going on there. I don't think that's genuine concern. I think there may be some narcissistic um, attributes there, like you want to be important or you want to feel like that. I don't know. I'm not. I'm just saying. I don't buy that. I believe that if you don't take care of yourself, and you always take care of other people, you got some other issues. So you need to take care of yourself first. That's my point here. Now, you can probably argue the other point, but I'm telling you, you take care of yourself first. Before you can be a good husband, you got to be a good person to yourself. Before you can be a good wife, you got to be a good person to yourself. Otherwise, you're faking. You shouldn't pastor a church, a synagogue, a mosque, or be a leader in an organization or manager at a job if you don't do good at taking care of yourself. Because why in the world would I believe that you're going to do well by me if you can't do well by yourself? This makes no sense. Seems a little opposite to me. Okay, that's enough for today. Thank you for letting me spend time with you. I hope something I said to you help you. Um, I'm going to end this with saying, take heed to the words that I am saying. They may help you or remain in the dark. This is E.B. Smith, Journey of Life.